And we're live.
Oh, we are live. God damn it. Okay. Well, Lando, man, how you been? This is our first episode, so first time ever going live on Rumble. For those of you listening in on Spotify, Apple iTunes, and anywhere else, you can watch live, so you can watch all of our fuck ups on Rumble. And if you guys enjoy the show, if it pissed you off or it made some good points, feel free to go on Rumble, drop us some tips, show the love, and we appreciate it. Once we get it set up more, which will be like my next stream, I'll have it set up so I can actually see like live questions, and those that throw in like at least $1 to whatever, we'll be able to read out your live questions live on the podcast. So, bro, how's the new gig, man? Everything's fucking crazy, huh?
Dude, it's been pretty good last 3 weeks, I gotta say. It's been really uplifting.
Should have took the Texas job. That's like one of the safest places in the country.
You know what? I would have taken the Texas job. I would have never seen Texas.
Never?
That's the problem with that job. It would have been too much travel.
It's a lot of land. I mean, Elon Musk, bro, like he just bought Twitter. Like, you hear that shit? He owns
9.7%.
Bro, he's gonna change the world with that tweet.
Did you see what they're doing to him though? They're capping him at 14%.
What do you mean?
So like if he takes a board of directors position, he won't be able to buy more than 14%. So it's to prevent him from taking over.
I don't know. I think the man's smart. He's a fucking genius.
I think he's gonna be there's another business guy who does that to businesses. He buys a certain percentage, and then he makes changes. He's like, hey, he's doing it right now with Bed Bath and Beyond. He's like, you guys are dying. You need to make changes. So what he does is he buys a controlling share, and he forces them to change.
Thank you.
And then he sells. And so it's like, it's the same thing with Elon. I think he's buying a controlling share. He's going to make changes that are for the benefit of the company, and then he's going to leave. I'm out.
I don't think so. I think is what he's going to do. Dude, totally. Like Elon Musk, bro, he's all for preserving and humanity and helping humanity to move in a better direction.
Positive direction.
Yeah. I don't want to say he's our savior because I was like prophesized with like all of your weird religions and shit. But because Twitter's fucked up, bro. Like they booted the president of the United States off Twitter. So the motherfucker couldn't voice his opinion. It's like
But Iran can still have an account. You know what I mean?
ISIS can still have accounts.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. It's all batshit crazy. And so the fact that the man's been tweeting the same mean, belligerent bullshit, whatever you want to say, well before his presidency, and he was loved and admired. And then as soon as that motherfucker took office, he lost contracts and deals with I don't know, hundreds, but an insane amount of money. Like a lot of businesses stopped doing business with him because he became president. And it's ridiculous the way that the man
watching his net worth slowly decrease throughout his presidency must have been absolutely miserable for him, dude.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. You heard he can't touch it anyways. His sons have to control it, but they're losing out on deals because everyone's turned against him. And so you slowly watch your net worth just start nosediving.
It's pretty crazy, man. And then now you got fucking Disney, which like behind the scenes was adding in like sexual explicit content. And I even rewatched the Star Wars movie, the Han Solo, and and there's like several sexual innuendos where like Han's like trying to fuck what's her name, the traitor bitch. Spoiler alert: she goes and runs off with Darth Maul at the end of the movie. and there's so many sexual innuendos, and now they're talking about adding in even more transgender content to tell little baby boys and little baby girls that it's fine for them to want to be the opposite sex or no sex at all. And in my opinion, this is like Hollywood. Like there's been a conspiracy that Hollywood's behind programming and brainwashing America and for decades. And
Conspiracy or CIA fact?
well, that's what I'm getting at is
Yeah.
Hollywood is Hollywood propagates information to the public, and that information transforms people's opinions and mindsets and the way that we think so that we behave differently. Consequences come from action, and action comes with thought. And what do you do to curate thought? You spark ideas and program by saying the same thing over and over and over again. Like, so my thoughts are these programs, the programming that's going on now is to eliminate the amount of breeding that can happen in the United States so we have a smaller population to be able to defend ourselves in the next 20 to 30 years. Let's say the way that I see the economy rolling around is not from the housing market collapsing. It's from the grocery stores and the food chains collapsing like it did in 2020 when the Chinese or the US or the people that were behind the COVID virus, like Bill Gates and what's Bill Gates' foundation?
The Bill Gates Foundation.
But there's another one that he owns, and it's John Hopkins, right? Doesn't he do someone John Hopkins? There's
I'm not
Event
sure.
201, and Event 201 had to deal with the fallout from was that the COVID test? Event 201. Let me look it up real quick. And
Yeah,
so
they basically pre-planned the whole COVID-19 thing. They
yeah, it was
basically
John
made
Hopkins Center for Health and Security, and so it's the first thing that pops up. Event 201. It was a round table, and it's only one page, like a really brief description, and health economics management, event strains, global capacity. So this breaks down the shit that happens after COVID, which is an economical collapse, and what are they going to do to prepare and defend um, from an economical collapse. So there's several things that we know that are necessary and required for every nation in the world to have. That's food, that's water, that's healthcare. Those are the three most important things that the world needs to have. That's why Pfizer gains access to military compounds. What was that article you read like a
Oh,
few months ago?
they were buying up military compounds all over the world using COVID-19 as vaccination as like it was the collateral. These countries had to collateral their military bases.
So if they if the vaccine went bad, then they would own the military bases, right?
No,
Some shit like that.
if the government didn't pay them for the vaccines, they would own their military bases.
Oh
'Cause
yeah, and then you got Kamala Harris down in Jamaica saying that they're gonna. She kept repeating the same bullshit, and the way that I interpreted it was, they're gonna bring in COVID vaccines, and that's gonna pay the people that are distributing it. So hospitals, government, the important people are gonna make money from the COVID vaccines, while everyone else is gonna live how we are, even more impoverished than we are because we're in America and we're pretty fucking privileged to live here. Like we got the cards fucking being born in this country. But goddamn, it doesn't make us better than anyone. Is what it does is it makes us a little bit more blind to the bullshit that goes on. There's too many fucking people that are pampered. Like one time I was at McDonald's, bro, when I took Kay out to for her birthday. We went to Vegas and we went to McDonald's, and the stupid bitch fucking serving fucking minimum wage McDonald's wouldn't even give me a 13-cent mask to order my food. And then there's a Karen in line saying it's a deadly virus and we should know better, while there's fucking fat people sitting behind us without a mask, stuffing their face with fucking 99-cent burgers. Like, it's crazy. Absolutely batshit crazy, the amount of fucking retards that there are on this fucking country. Like,
Yo, do you know it was released like 3 days ago?
what?
How toxins in our food can increase your COVID-19 chances. And guess what's all up in that McDonald's? A bunch of toxins, dude. All
Uh-huh.
of them.
Well, is what they're saying is the more
COVID-19, put your mask on.
the more unhealthy you are, the more susceptible you are to dying from this man-made virus. But my point is, there's propaganda going on that directs people's attention away from facts that matter and making us hyper focus on things that don't matter, like people's sexuality. In the 90s and 2000s, it was a big thing to like let gay people get married. And I personally don't see a problem with that. People see a problem with that because of tax issues or because of religious issues or whatever. My thing is, it's none of your motherfucking business. Who the fuck cares if this bitch pegs this dude? Like, who the fuck yeah, a little sassy, huh? You want that? Who the fuck cares if this chick scissors this chick? No one cares if this dude fucks this dude in the ass. Like, no one really fucking cares. No one cares about your fucking sexuality unless you're dating and you come out to be a man who's trying to date another man who only wants to date women, and then you get mad and then file a lawsuit because this guy's like not wanting to date you. That's just psychotic and creepy, and that sounds like a man thing to do because you're a bitch. And men that can't handle like their own masculinity tend to be more beta, or in today's day and age, more feminine. And there's a feminine energy and there's a masculine energy. And for those of you that don't know, even in like bisexual and gay relationships, there's the more of a bitch and there's the more of a man. And that's just the way it fucking works. And the way that it's going is like, my thoughts are they beat it into us to like, who the fuck cares? And now it's going a little overboard, like fucking psychotic. Follow us, listen to us. We demand this. We demand everything. We demand everything. But as we all know, being like, you're an average fucking person. That's why you're listening to this. Is in every relationship, in every negotiation, there's a give and take. And if you keep letting people take, they're going to keep taking. And there has to be a point where you fucking stop and you put your fucking boot down and you say no. And if the person's never been told no before, they're going to cry and throw a fucking fit. Like women or men competing in women's sports. I don't give a fuck what you are. But if you've had testosterone flowing through your body for the last 20, 30, 40 years, and then in the last 6 to 18 months, you decide to start taking estrogen and testosterone blockers, and you still have a cock and balls, then you're a fucking man. Like, you have more bone density, you have bigger muscles, stronger muscle fibers, and you still have the man think. Like, you still think like a fucking predator. It's bullshit. It's absolute. Just because you can't get a boner because your testicles don't produce fucking testosterone anymore, you're still gonna beat most of the women because you're naturally stronger than women, and you've been competing in the same thing, but you've been losing to men for, your whole fucking life because you're not good. And it's an insult. It's a huge fucking insult. And in my opinion, this is the year of fuckery. That's why I named the title. This is 2022, year of the fuckery. 2020 was year of the apocalypse, and goddamn, it's been a long last 2 years. So I forget what the 2021 was, but that's despise the point. Fuck that. We don't fucking care who you are or what you do. And in my opinion, and if you disagree with this, you're fucking blind. In my opinion, America ain't racist. This ain't where the black folks sit in the back of the fucking bus. This ain't the black folk you drink out of the fucking hose. We get the water fountain. This ain't the black folk. You just looked at that white girl, so I'm gonna drag your ass down the street until you fall apart. This ain't that time. This is the motherfucking present day, 2022. If you want to see racist shit, you get your Western ass over to fucking China and you see how them fucking native Chinese people treat your ass. You'll be treated like dog shit. You want to fucking talk about racism? You get your ass to Sudan. You see what the fuck happens to you over there. You want to be fucking a man that identifies as a woman. You get your ass to Iran. You go to Venezuela. You'll get turned out. You'll get dropped off a fucking building. You want to talk about all this bullshit, like all this propaganda that's going on right now. If you believe in any of this bullshit, you're batshit crazy. And I have a few transgender friends. And I met some fucking weird-ass transgender people in my store, too. They're fucking weird. They're goddamn weird. I would never trust those people to wash my truck. I would never trust people to watch my store. I wouldn't even trust those people to help me put out a fire if my store was on fire. I'd tell them, you sit your ass down over there and stay. Don't come near this. I got it handled. Because they're fucking weird. Some of them, but not all. Some of them. And like, no one fucking cares. It's what I do care about, and it's what this man cares about. This man, camera's right there. Mr. Landon cares about. Anyone that has a fucking kid cares about. Is if you have a child that's 8 months old to 12 years old, you give a goddamn that Disney, fucking Disney, the most powerful Hollywood producer, is now putting out transgender films directed at children, telling them it is okay to want to be gay. Motherfucker, kids are not born wanting to be gay. Just like kids are not born wanting to be evil. This ain't Dexter. This is real fucking life. This is reality. Like, how the fuck are you going to be okay with someone brainwashing your fucking child? It's crazy. You're muted, son, bitch. This motherfucker. We're over here live on a new streaming platform, and he's over here trying to interject, and he can't say shit. Because Mr. Lando got his mic muted. What are we going to do with you, Landon?
I don't even know how.
There it goes. Is that better? I think so. I can hear you.
You talk for so long. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Well, I'm long-winded. That's why people like to listen to me. I make good points. I make weird points.
So long. My mic said I'm not doing it anymore. I'm out.
Bro, you need to listen to me when it comes to buying the mics.
I bought a blue snowball. Look at this guy.
Yeah, it's not a blue Yeti. That's the $19 Walmart special, bro.
It's a $39. It was $39.
You need to turn on anyways.
It was 30. Okay, but I mean, back to your Disney point. I mean, there's a reason why they're going after your kids. It's not just they think that if they can go after the next generation and teach the next generation that all of their values are somehow moralistically more important than the ideals and teachings of the parents. And so they feel like they can inject themselves using media and their positions of power, which is what the Disney executives were saying in their, they want to be more inclusive, but that word just means they want to interject between the parent and the child, because we've already seen what happens when a parent finds out that the school system is telling that their child is transgender, and then they tell the child, don't go home and tell your mom and dad about this.
Did you hear that story with the nurse that called out the fucking teachers that were giving one child was given hormone blockers, and then 11 other children were transcending to become transgender. Like they didn't identify the sex in the news article, and and she got fucking fired for calling them out and letting the families know, like, these people are doing weird shit with your kids. This one has hormone blockers, and she's 11-year-old little girl getting fucking hormone blockers at 11.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that'll
Do you know what other class of people tell the children not to go home and tell the parents what's really going on? Do you know what very, very similar behavior?
What?
Like
No.
sexual assault, predators. Predators go up to your children and they tell them, "Oh, hey, I'm going to fuck you in the ass. Don't tell your mom and dad."
So what do you think the difference? Because, like, giving a minor hormone blockers who's not even an adult or a young adult or a teenager, but like a little baby, giving them hormone blockers and telling them not to tell their parents, like, and then
that's predatory,
dude. And then you have the Department of Justice, the DOJ, having a new what is it? God damn it. A new department being created to monitor parents that, quote unquote, threaten school faculty and school board members. And if you threaten a school board member, you get put on a terrorist watch list, which then removes your rights to purchase a firearm. If you go in to try and purchase a firearm, you can't because you're on a terrorist watch list. You also can't travel on a fucking airplane to most destinations if you're on a terrorist watch list, let alone travel outside the country.
My best advice for people is don't threaten. Don't threaten.
Telling them
you can skip that step.
No. They define threaten as if the faculty member feels threatened, you threaten them. And look.
It's called coming out of nowhere.
Look, I'm sure you could be a bear at times, but you're a great dude, man. You're so fucking nice, and like, you're from the South. Okay. Until you
go after children on me, until you go after children.
Well, that's what we're saying. So, like,
as a dad, switch,
as a dad that lost his son to a psychotic fucking woman, that's you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to hear that story, it's on previous podcasts on Spotify, and like you'll hear bits about it. Losing your kid is crazy as fuck, bro. And then having someone who's not even related to your fucking child and getting that drama of some psychotic fucking predator indoctrinating your child into thinking that they are not what they actually are, that's fucking crazy. And honestly, I'm surprised. I think January 6th and all the shit that happened prior is the reason that parents aren't fucking beating the shit out of school board members, because if I know a lot of fucking people that if a teacher did that to their fucking kid, that teacher's nuts would be in their fucking stomach, bro. Like it's batshit. Like, when you start going after our fucking kids, the youth, and the next 2 generations of our fucking country, and you start fucking cutting their balls off and cutting out their ovaries, nah, man, they're crippling society. And for those of you that don't fucking see it and don't want to believe it, by the time you're fucking 30 years older, you're going to see not only is the population of our country well below those of others, but you're going to start seeing Chinese military patrolling the fucking streets, because, God damn it, we have a military for a fucking reason, and that's to protect us from the gruesome, cruel, evil sons of fucking bitches out there. And when that shit hits home here in our country, which we've never seen war in this country, never, not in 5 fucking generations we haven't seen war in this fucking country. When it happens, all of you that are out of shape, all of you that took the vaccine, all of you that don't want to fucking support your local communities and stop shopping online, you're going to see your communities crumble and fall over the next 5 years. Everything's going to get fucked up over the next 5 years, and it's because you don't want to shop local. You don't want to stay in your city and your zip code and buy from merchants and vendors in your city and zip code. By doing that, you're supporting those people that live there. You chose to live where the fuck you are. That's why there's a grocery store on every fucking corner just about. There's one grocery store per zip code, at least here in Idaho. And I know that's how it is down in Florida. I know that's how it is in Oregon, Washington, California.
Walmart, Food Lion.
Those motherfuckers, bro, they still got employees. And those employees need jobs. And right now, basic entry jobs, everything is $15 an hour wherever there's an Amazon warehouse. Minimum, everything's $15 an hour. So people are choosing to work where they want to work. Fast food joints are about to go out of business because they can't find employees. They also can't make the money. So those franchisees, they're fucked. Those are really rich people. We're seeing the fall of fast food because they can't find employees. They're going to start cutting corners and doing weird things. But the IRS just got like, what was it, 80,000, 160,000 new employees to monitor all of your fucking checking accounts. Not just checking accounts, your PayPal, your Zelle, Cash App, Apple, like your phone, because Apple fucking takes money with Apple Pay. So they're going to be monitoring every single financial service that you have that has at least $600 in and out throughout the 12-month period. And while you got people,
I thought they canceled that. I thought they said they weren't going to do that.
That is not canceled. No, that is some real shit. That got passed. That super got passed. That was with
no way.
One of the big crazy bills in like 2020, 2021. I think it was 2021, right? And then you got marijuana passing Congress approved it, right? Now it's got to go through the Senate. And the Senate's going to approve it because Pfizer in 2021 December, they purchased a marijuana
dispensary
biotech company. December 23rd or December 20th, I don't know. December 2021, Pfizer purchased a marijuana biotech company to research marijuana and how they can synthesize it to pharmaceuticals. So in order for them to get better research and marijuana has to be removed from Schedule I narcotics. So the Senate's going to pass it because what do you see on TV and every radio and the fucking Grammys or the Oscars?
The federal government is finally going to go broke, and so they're going to sell weed.
Federal government's been broke for a really long time. And then all this money getting printed out. Inflation like a motherfucker. That's why everyone's minimum wage is $15 an hour. I bet Jeff Bezos knew all this. I bet he knew all this shit was going on. Like Elon Musk. Elon Musk sold all of his fucking property years ago. He doesn't own a goddamn thing. And now you got this new bill coming out where they're going to tax everyone's assets. If you have over like, what was it, 3 million, 100 million, some outrageous amount of money worth of assets, which means property that you already pay taxes on. Property that doesn't make you money. Inventory sitting doesn't make you money. It's sitting. Assets. Anything. You have a yacht.
Oh, no.
You have a
car.
car.
You know why? Free ports.
You have a fucking phone?
Huh? No, they were free porting it. That's the problem. So a billionaire would buy like $100 million painting. And in one of these free ports around the world, they would put it there and store it there. And they would never pay like any sort of taxes on that purchase because it was a free port and it's in transit.
That's where they're held at airports, right?
Yeah.
Like certain airports have like crazy underground vaults.
And then they go to the bank and they go, "Hey, bank.
Oh, you're so sexy.
God. Hey, bank, I have $100 million asset. Can I get a ridiculously low loan percent, loan on this?" And they would just live off of that because they could. And the federal government wouldn't be able to tax the loan. They wouldn't be able to tax the asset. They didn't tax the purchase of the asset, nor the sale of the asset. They just completely voided out any sort of tax on it. So the problem is the system is breaking down from top to bottom. The rich don't want to be taxed, so they've created so many loopholes that they can get out of it. So the federal government right now is trying to put a Band-Aid on taxation like it's going to frickin' work, but it's not. We keep getting poor, And the gulf between the rich and poor is widening crazy fast and crazy deep. And we're about to get to the point to where we're going to see it. We're going to see how fucking bad it gets. And it's going to make some people mad. And I don't think it'd be, even though they've hurt us with COVID-19 vaccines, we're all fat and we're all going to be getting pretty skinny soon. I think it's going to get to the point to where we're going to get angry. And that's what happens every single time. We're going to get angry, and then a crisis is going to happen, which is, I think, what we're in, crisis. And it's either going to be the federal government is going to put their boot down on our necks, or we're going to have a new government. That's the only way I'm seeing it. A turnover in government.
Just a few weeks ago, the world, it was somewhere like a bunch of governments come together, and
G20 or G22.
It wasn't G20. It was something else, and their opening line was the New World Order. Are you ready for the New World Order? And I've been told about the New World Order since I was like 17. My first job was pumping gas, and you meet all sorts of fucking people pumping gas. And I heard all about this shit, and it opened up my mind. And then I started selling phones, and way back before iPhone came out, I was selling phones, and I heard about that shit then too. And like I found out some really weird shit too about how like people's phones are monitored and tapped. My phone was monitored and tapped way back then, and it was really weird. And now we're in today where it's common, and everyone's phone is tapped. And everyone is just about a felon. Like, so many people have felonies in this country, and that prevents us from owning guns, which prevents us from getting a good job and a proper education, and it holds back the people. And it primarily started during like Biden's turn in government, where black people like were treated like absolute dog shit. The 60s and the 70s and the 80s. And it started to turn around in the 90s and 2000s. It became like, who the fuck cares? And then 2010s came, and who the fuck cares if you're gay? And you know what I'm saying? Like, things slowly progress. Now it's like I used to get yelled at for turning down transgender dudes that converted to female. And it's like, did you get the full surgery? Nope. Then I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. Don't judge me. Like, hey. And so they would yell at me, and you're muted. You're still muted. Oh, there we go.
You're being judged.
Okay, well, judge me.
You're gonna poke a flesh hole.
We're all freaks. Whatever. I just want to know if it feels the same. It's just bad shit crazy. Like, black people back in the day, like, mostly we're the ones that got arrested and charged felons, and then you got Planned Parenthoods that are mostly set up in black neighborhoods, and it's fucking disgusting. It's gross. And then you got all this segregation, like Chicago. That's why Chicago is one of the most dangerous cities in the fucking country, is because it's segregated. You got the ghettos, which are black, and then you got uptown or whatever. I don't know anything about Chicago. I just like seen a map with like the segregation on it.
Isn't the word gentrification kind of like the word that's used in that situation?
Okay. Yeah, it's gentrified.
Yeah,
it's gross. Like, it's fucking terrible. And like, there's
socioeconomics, intentional social economics.
Like, when I used to live in Washington, I drove into the bad part, quote unquote, the bad part of town, in Seattle, and like the whole landscape changed from like upkept to bars on every fucking home and weeds growing out of the fucking sidewalk. And it just wasn't kept up. Like, and it's so like, how different is it from like predominantly multicultural communities or white communities than you go to like quote unquote minority communities like black or Mexican or Latino, and it looks like dog shit. And then you have shit that looks really fucking nice and there's a lot of money put into it. Like, why? Does that start with leadership? Like, are scumbags getting in office over there? Because what is it? Senators get paid a certain amount of money, and then you have district senators, which have a salary based on their district's income. And so, is the income really low, or do you have shitty fucking representation in those districts? Because that's really what it comes down to: is who's your district representation? Like, what are they there for? Why did you vote for them? And if they just spiel a bunch of bullshit, they're only in office for 2 years. And if you feel like you can make a big impact in your direct community, if you own a business somewhere and you see that things aren't going smooth, or it looks like dog shit, or there's big changes that need to happen, even if it's a little thing to start or it's a big giant thing like legalizing cannabis, like, get it the fuck legal and make sure big pharma can't get their fucking hands in on it. Make sure that shit's in like some kind of legislation to where they can't, because that'll fuck everything up. And if you say, oh, murmur, look at Monsanto. Monsanto used to make biological weapons for the United States Army or Air Force or the military, what the fuck ever. And then after the Vietnam War, they're like, well, war's not going to be here for a while, so shit. Well, food's always here. So they put the shit in seeds. And now look, if one of their seeds falls onto a different farm, they own that shit. And all the fruit you buy here in America is what's the opposite word for fertile? It's
Unfertile?
Well, unfertile, right? But there's another word for it. So you're eating you're eating food that can't even reproduce, right? So what's that say for it going inside you? Like, if its seeds don't produce any offspring, right? So its seeds are it can't produce. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you're just eating infertile food, and it's just it's not healthy. It's really not, and it doesn't taste the same as fertile food. And like, if you know there's a farmer's market, you go to a farmer's market and you eat their food versus the produce food at a fucking grocery store that's by Monsanto fucking GMO, like, you'll taste the difference. You'll smell the difference. It's fucking crazy, man. So I think at the end of the day, man, like, now with Disney getting in on it, the federal government said that they're getting in on it. It doesn't matter what the parents say is, because they're enrolled in a public school. I think homeschooling's a thing, and I think our society is going to collapse, not from a housing bubble, but I think our society is going to collapse because there's no real money, and everyone getting paid $15 an hour, and fucking gas prices are so high, shipping prices.
They're about to get worse. I think food's next, dude. I think that's what it really hits. When it fucking hits food, everyone's gonna be like, all right, time to shit a brick.
I bought a brisket, and I smoked a brisket. So there was a gangbanger that came into my store two Sundays ago, and he gangbanged on one of my customers, stole the guy's bicycle, and then he threatened to shoot my employees. And he didn't rob my store. I think he was high on meth. And then he went down to my neighbor who is a barber, and he like brandished his weapon and threatened to shoot him if he didn't give him a lighter. And so of course we called the cops, and cops reported, and they're pretty cool. They came into I own a smoke shop, and so they came into my shop, and they ain't never been there before, and they're like, man, this is a really nice shop, man. Thank you so much for being a nice business owner, stand-up citizen. You don't sell meth pipes. We appreciate that. It's really cool. So I smoked him a brisket, and it was goddamn, it was fucking good. But after buying all the everything for it, was like $200. But the brisket itself was like $135. And like USDA choice brisket used to be like $80 here in Idaho, and now getting USDA choice is like fucking expensive, man. Holy shit. It's really expensive. Like, the cheapest way you can get meat is buy it like the day before it goes bad. Like today, I just got fucking a rack of ribs that expires tomorrow. Like it's like sell by tomorrow. Rack of ribs, fucking beef. It was like $16 for a big giant rack of ribs. But that shit's
Hell yeah,
about to
dude.
expire tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So you got to cook it today. You can't buy it and take it home. But society's definitely going to collapse because food is next, in my opinion. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. It's food and water.
Food is such a an instinctual thing. Once you feel that drying up, all your fucking senses start going like to 100%. You know what I mean?
Have you ever been so hungry that your sense of smell heightens?
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude.
Yeah, that's cool. When you're
Dude,
fasting, bro, and like you're just I'm so hungry, and then you just smell
you turn into
everything around you.
you turn into a mouse, dude. You start fucking like
A pig. You turn into a pig because pigs have better smells. It's
yeah,
pretty
dude.
cool, but it's not cool what's gonna happen. So like honestly, the best way to prepare is not to go fucking spend like hundreds of dollars on buying like canned food. Just
Canned food.
Just buy canned food, motherfucker. Yeah. That shit'll
Oh,
stay fucking good forever.
You froze on me. Am I frozen?
Oh, I did freeze.
Oh,
Shit.
it's your technical problems now.
Hold on, I'll be right back. Give me one moment. Landon, take it over.
Oh, fine. Oh yeah, so don't buy canned food. I would buy rice rice, beans, because you have protein and those gallon jugs and put those to good use. You do have to freeze the rice though for 3 days because there's a certain critter that likes to eat up your stores. I think they're called like weevils, something like that. Yeah, you have to freeze it for 3 days, and that usually kills them. And then you can store them. But you're still frozen. You're in a new position, but frozen. Um, buy ammo. Buy a rifle. Buy ammo, because going and shooting a hog, that hog will last a lot longer than any food stores you got. Being an avid hunter is probably the best thing against a starvation. Um, you can shoot a deer, and there's a certain way you can cook deer meat that our ancestors had. You would like bake it in the oven and mix it in with like the fat and the lard, and it lasted for so long. It had so many calories in it, like you could survive off a bag for like an entire week. And I'm talking like a little Ziploc bag. That thing had like 9,000 calories packed in there, and it was glorious. There's a book called The Old Ways, and I've been really considering buying it because it really points out a lot of knowledge that has been dropped. And I think The Old Ways is really it'll really help a lot of people out. I think the worst that happens when like a Great Depression or a calamity or anything, happens, like a crisis. I think the worst thing that happens is we lose knowledge. Like that is the most important. Like the money, uh, whatever. The economy, none of that matters. The knowledge, though, the knowledge that you lose or don't have and that you need is the most important. Oh boy, he's been gone for a while. You there, bro?
Can you see?
Yeah, no, you're still frozen to me. You got this funny face. It's pretty hilarious. I wish I could screenshot it. You still there?
Yeah.
Oh man. Ugh, I'm running out of thoughts.
I'll be sorry, folks. Technical difficulties. Oh, it's still all Bojanky.
You're still frozen, dude. Oh my
Super
god.
froze.
This is a technical weekend right
Man.
now.
Well,
Well, just keep talking. We'll have that stupid...
no, I can't have that stupid face up there.
Yeah, dude, that
But
face is perfect.
we're gonna cut it short just because of the technical difficulties. Appreciate y'all coming in. Just stay aware of the propaganda. If you're on True Social, you can actually follow Nancy Pelosi's stock trades. I really wanted to get into that. It shouldn't make you a criminal, but try and get on True Social so you can follow that shit. It's pretty cool. You'll be rich, bitch. Pay attention to propaganda. No, don't take what the fuck said online or over the TV and what the fuck ever with like.
But the TV told me, bro.
Yeah, well, it's sponsored by Pfizer. By Pfizer.
But the internet said
it's crazy. It's all batshit crazy. So children are now on radio ads telling adults how to and what to take for prescriptions. I'm sorry, but 9-year-olds don't tell you how to run your fucking household. So dude, just
your face is hilarious.
I know, I got big lips. Beautiful man.
Dude, I printed I'm gonna use this as a meme template.
You're such a cunt. You're such a cunt. I love you, bro. I hope you have a great night.
Love you too, bro.
Everyone that's tuned in, thank you so much. Hope you have a beautiful night. Stay safe, stay sane, and stay hydrated.